California Young Reader Medal nominees, 2013-2014. A Nest for Celeste. A beautifully illustrated novel about a mouse, her friendship with Audubon's apprentice, a singing thrush named Cornelius, a talkative osprey named Lafayette, and her search for a home. Is her home in the toe of a worn boot? Nestled in Joseph's pocket? Or in a dollhouse in the attic, complete with mouse-sized furniture, perfect for Celeste? In the end, Celeste discovers that home is really the place, deep inside her heart, where friendships live. Turtle in Paradise. Turtle is an 11-year-old girl whose mother is a housekeeper. When she takes a job with a woman who won't allow children, her mother sends her to live with an aunt and several boy cousins in Key West, Florida. It is 1935 and times are hard on everyone. Turtle has to adjust to a very different way of living and get along with her rowdy cousins and their friends. The Unwanteds. Every year in Quill, 13-year-olds are sorted into categories. The intelligent wanteds go to the university, and the artistic unwanteds are sent to their graves. On the day of the purge, identical twins Alex and Aaron Stowe await their fate. While Aaron is hopeful of becoming a wanted, Alex knows his chances are slim. He's been caught drawing with a stick in the dirt, and in the stark gray land of the Quill, being creative is a death sentence. But when Alex and the other unwanteds face the Eliminators, they discover an eccentric magician named Mr. Today and his hidden world that exists to save the condemned children. Artemie is a colorful place of talking statues, uncommon creatures, and artistic magic, where creativity is considered a gift and a weapon. The Intermediate Books: A Nest for Celeste, Turtle in Paradise, The Unwanteds. One Crazy Summer. 11-year-old Delphine has it together, even though her mother Cecile abandoned her and her younger sisters Vanetta and Fern 7 years ago, and even though her father and Big Ma will send them from Brooklyn to Oakland, California to stay with Cecile for the summer, and even though Delphine will have to take care of her sisters as usual and learn the truth about the missing pieces of the past. When the girls arrive in Oakland in the summer of 1968, Cecile wants nothing to do with them. She makes them eat Chinese takeout dinners, forbids them to enter her kitchen, and never explains the strange visitors with afros and black berets who knock on her door. Rather than spend time with them, Cecile sends them to a summer camp sponsored by a revolutionary group, the Black Panthers, where the girls get a radical new education. Set during one of the most tumultuous years in recent American history, One Crazy Summer is a heartbreaking, funny tale of 3 girls in search of a mother who abandoned them. Faith, Hope, and Ivy June. 2 Kentucky girls, Ivy June Mosley and Catherine Coombs, are participating in their school's first ever 7th grade exchange program. Taking turns, each girl leaves home for 2 weeks to live and attend classes with each other, and each records her honest feelings about the experience in a journal. In some ways, the girls are worlds apart. For starters, Ivy June lives up in the mountains with her grandparents because it's so crowded down at her parents' house. The Mosleys use an outhouse, drive rickety old cars, and wear hand-me-downs. Catherine lives in a close-knit family in a large, beautiful house with plenty of space for everyone. She has her own room and 2 beds and is driven to school every day. As the girls spend time in each other's neck of the woods, they find out that they've been keeping secrets, and when without warning Ivy June and Catherine both face terror and helplessness of not knowing what's happening to their loved ones, they discover that they may be more alike than different. They learn they need only one thing to become true friends: a belief in the power of faith and hope. Wonderstruck. Ben and Rose secretly wish their lives were different. Ben longs for the father he has never known. Rose dreams of a mysterious actress whose life she chronicles in a scrapbook. When Ben discovers a puzzling clue in his mother's room and Rose reads an enticing headline in the newspaper, Both children set out alone on desperate quests to find out what they are missing. Set 50 years apart, these two independent stories, Ben's told in words and Rose's in pictures, weave back and forth with mesmerizing symmetry. Ben's story takes place in 1977 in Minnesota. Born deaf in one ear and being raised by his aunt and uncle after his mother is killed in a car accident, he loses the hearing in his other ear after a lightning bolt strikes his house. Rose lives in New Jersey in 1927 and is kept home because she is deaf. How their two stories intertwine will surprise you, challenge you, and leave you breathless with wonder. The middle school books: One Crazy Summer, Faith, Hope, and Ivy June, Wonderstruck. Divergent. In Beatrice Pryor's dystopian Chicago, society is divided into 5 factions, each dedicated to the cultivation of a particular virtue: candor the honest, abnegation the selfless, dauntless the brave, and amity the peaceful, and erudite the intelligent. On an appointed day of every year, all 16-year-olds must select the faction to which they will devote the rest of their lives. For Beatrice, the decision is between staying with her family and being who she really is. She can't have both, so she makes a choice that surprises everyone, including herself. During the highly competitive initiation that follows, Beatrice renames herself Tris and struggles to determine who her friends really are, and where exactly a romance with a sometimes fascinating, sometimes infuriating boy fits into the life she's chosen. But Tris also has a secret, one she's kept secret because she was warned it can mean death. And as she discovers a growing conflict that threatens to unravel her seemingly perfect society, she also learns that her secret might help save those she loves, or it might destroy her. Revolution. Andy Alpert is on the edge. She's angry at her father for leaving, angry at her mother for not being able to cope, and angry at the world for taking her younger brother Truman. Rage and grief are destroying her, and her father has determined that Andy's accompanying him to Paris over winter break is the solution to everything. But Paris is a city of ghosts for Andy, and when she finds a centuries-old diary, the ghosts begin to walk off the page. Alexandrine, the owner of the journal, knew heartbreak also, and Andy finds comfort in the girl's words. Until, on a midnight journey through the catacombs of Paris, words transcend paper and time, and the past becomes suddenly, terrifyingly present. The Running Dream. 16-year-old Jessica is a runner. It's not just what she does, it's who she is. So when a tragic accident causes her to lose her leg, she's shattered inside and out. Though the doctors say she'll be able to walk with a prosthetic limb, recovery is slow and full of pitfalls. Jessica wonders if the girl who died in the accident didn't get the better end of the deal. But as she struggles to reclaim her life, Jessica gets to know Rosa, a girl with cerebral palsy whom she and her friends had always overlooked. Not only does Rosa come to Jessica's rescue in math, she also helps her reach for a future that is full of unexpected opportunities. And Jessica starts to wonder, is it possible not only to walk again, but to run? The young adult books: Divergent, Revolution, The Running Dream. 14 Cows for America. Kameli Naoma returned home to his Maasai village from New York City with news of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. He tells his people and elders about the attack. He asks for permission to give his cow to the people of America to help heal the pain of the people. This is a very important gesture to Maasai because cattle are life to the Maasai. This book presents a beautifully illustrated true tale of the gift of 14 cows given by the Maasai people of Kenya to the U.S. as a gesture of comfort and friendship in the wake of the attacks of September 11, 2001. Queen of the Falls. Come and meet the Queen of the Falls and witness with your own eyes her daring ride. At the turn of the 19th century, a retired charm school teacher named Annie Edson Taylor, seeking fame and fortune, decided to do something that no one in the world had ever done before. She would go over Niagara Falls in a wooden barrel. Dive into one of the oddest adventures of all time, masterfully crafted by Caldecott medalist Chris Van Allsburg. This true tale chronicles the courageous and eccentric journey of Mrs. Taylor as she performs one of the most death-defying feats in American history. Worst of Friends. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams were two of the giant intellects responsible for forming the United States. Even though their personalities were vastly different, as young men they worked together to gain independence from Britain. However, in the late 1770s, they developed differing ideas about the best way to govern the U.S. They were estranged for more than a decade, but eventually were able to put politics and hurt feelings aside and resume their friendship. In one of the fascinating twists of fate, both men died on July 4, 1826, exactly 50 years after signing the Declaration of Independence. Picture books for older readers: Queen of the Falls, 14 Cows for America, and Worst of Friends. These are your nominees for California Young Reader Medal this year. Read all 3 books in a category, decide which is your favorite, and vote in March.